Hey, welcome back to another episode of Starting with the Basics. Today we're going to go over how to actually check and see if your door is got a good seal. And my wife has mentioned that her truck has a leak that's coming in around the bottom of the door. So I'm going to check the weather stripping and make sure that that's good. And we're also going to turn around and take a look and see if we might need to adjust the door itself on the vehicle to get a better seal, or if we need to replace it. Stay tuned. Alright, so right here we have our wonderful little weather stripping. It goes all the way around. Give you a quick little backstory on why this might have happened. So we had the truck that was closed. We had a bit of winter time here. The door was hard to open. There was frost in the windows. So in order to try to speed it up, we poured lightly above cold water on the door and try to actually remove the frost that was holding the seal. And the door itself was still a little bit hard to open, which means we may have actually damaged the weather stripping, or it might mean that we just need to adjust our door. Alright, so let's get into that. Okay, as you can see, I got an upper weather stripping here. There we go, and I got a lower weather stripping down here. Let's brighten this up a bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. So you got a lower weather stripping down here and an upper weather stripping here. Both of those make contact with my door. First thing I want to do is I want to clean off my weather stripping. I just have a little bit of water on a paper towel here. Okay. Now I want to clean off the weather stripping on the other side down here. As you can see, it's quite dirty. Now we also need to do the door at the same time. And of course, again, that's rather dirty. I'm only doing the top section of the door just to kind of make it short, sweet, and simple for you. All right. So now we went ahead and we got this cleaned up here, right? That bad boy's cleaned, and then right over here, I cleaned this part. So now what I want to do is I want to actually use chalk. All right, so I'm going to apply like a sidewalk chalk or something like that to the area that I just cleaned on the weather stripping. I want to do it on the weather stripping because that's going to tell me where everything is actually on the weather stripping, because that's actually going to tell me where everything is actually connected. All right, so clean this one, clean the one below it, apply your chalk to it, clean your door, then you're going to close your door and then literally open it right back up. Now you want to choose a color of chalk that's going to be easily to be seen. So I'd use probably like a black chalk or a gray chalk or something like that. It's going to leave a good line, and that'll tell me if I have good contact. If I don't have good contact, there's two things I can do. One is adjust my door itself. So right there, I got an upper hinge and I have a lower hinge. This one has bolts on the outside here, and it's got bolts on the back side of the hinge down here. Outside, right there, and the back side. You can kind of see one of them there. And I also have it here on the upper. So one of these, this one here, allows me to adjust the door kind of like height wise and in and out for a tighter fit or a looser fit. And the one on the back here allows me to angle the door up or angle the door down depending on which way my door is actually sitting. So if I have a good seal on the front, a really good seal on the front here, and I have a loose seal on the back, what I'll do is I'll actually loosen it and I'll move the door backwards a little bit, tighten it back down, and clean off the chalk, repeat the process. and it's going to take a little bit to actually get that done, but if you do that slowly but surely, you'll work the door over. If you get a good seal all the way around after you've done that, and you still have water leakage, what you're going to need to do is look into actually getting your weather stripping replaced. And you can try to do that yourself, which it can be a pain in the butt if you've never done that, because you're going to have to remove some of your pieces on the door right here, because the weather stripping is going to go inside kind of around the corner. It's got like a groove that'll slide over this, right? But you can't access that groove because this panel's in the way. I've taken these panels off and putting these panels back on so I can do that, but if you've never done that and it comes to a weather stripping, it might be worth paying somebody to do that, because it can be a pain in the butt. Or if you want to try it, take your time, slow down, and do it nice and easy. Now let's bring you inside here. So as you can see in here, I don't have any screws, right, until I get here. That's a pop plate right there, so I can take my handle off, one on the bottom, one on top. But again, this is not going to have any screws. It's going to have what they call clips on the inside, and they're going to clip to different parts of your actual vehicle that actually allow this to adhere and get a good grip. That's why I'm saying if you've never done that, it might be worth it. It's not like taking something apart with a screwdriver and putting it back together with a screwdriver. It's a little more finesse than that. But if you don't mind possibly having to replace this piece and the clips that are underneath, go for it. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. So I got to go ahead and get a little bit of chalk out here. We'll go ahead and get that done, get that adjusted, but I'm going to do exactly just like what I explained to you. And I'm going to loosen my door up slowly but surely, and I might have my wife help me out by lifting the door up, pulling the door out, pushing the door in, depending on the way that the chalk sets. If the chalk sets just fine, then I'm going to want to go ahead and look into that weather stripping a little bit closer, and we'll probably just replace it. Shouldn't be too much. Well, that's going to do it for this week's, not weeks. That's going to do it for this episode of Ray Starting with the Basics. If you enjoyed the episode, please click that like and subscribe button down below. If you like what I'm doing, share it with other people, and tune in next time. Thank you.